Welcome back to another English lesson. Thank you so much for clicking on this English lesson. It really does bring me joy to know that you are improving your English from the lessons that I am developing. So, thanks so much. Recently, President Trump says he might invade the country of Nigeria because Christians are dying. I need to be very careful about the words I use here because YouTube might get mad. But yeah, we are not a Christian nation, and there are a lot of other people dying around the world, and we are not invading them. So it does make me question, why does President Trump think that Nigeria is the place to invade? Oh, and Venezuela. We've done English lessons about that as well. So, in today's English lesson, you are going to learn a bunch of terms that you might hear native English speakers say, or terms you might see on the IELTS or TOEFL exam. You will learn what it means to do a deep dive. Of course, we have to talk about a few English phrasal verbs like wipe out. We'll talk about atrocities. How about this very useful word in English, meanwhile? We will talk about faiths. We will talk about credibility and so much more. If that sounds useful to you, please go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe if this is your first time here, and let's watch the newscast together.
In our deep dive, President Trump setting his sights on Nigeria. In multiple social media posts, Trump accused Nigeria's government of allowing the killing of Christians and said the U.S. may, quote, go into the West African country and, quote, wipe out Islamic terrorists he says are responsible for horrible atrocities. He says that he's instructed the Pentagon to prepare for possible action. Meantime, Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says religious freedom and tolerance are core tenets of Nigeria's collective identity and will remain so.
If you do a deep dive in English on something, that means a detailed look or study of something. And for every one of these terms, I'm going to have a picture. I will have the official definition, and I will use it in a sentence like this. The news did a deep dive into the problems facing Nigeria. And yeah, there are many problems there. And it seems like not just Christians are getting killed, but also Muslims and non-believers. Wipe out. Now, this is an English phrasal verb, so it has a couple meanings, but the way they used it in the newscast was like this: to completely destroy or remove something. This picture has what looks like a lightning storm, or you might hear it called a thunder and lightning storm. A strong storm wiped out the power in the whole city. Here's another sentence. The earthquake wiped out everything people had built. You know what I would love to do is wipe out war from the planet. So many atrocities are happening all around the world and also in Nigeria. Atrocities are terrible and cruel acts, especially during war or conflict. Here is a sentence that goes along with this picture. I couldn't show too much, to be honest. Many people were shocked by the atrocities committed by the rebels. The Pentagon, they mentioned the Pentagon in the newscast. The Pentagon is the main building of the U.S. Department of Defense. Recently, that was renamed to the Department of War. This is often to mean like the U.S. military. The Pentagon sent more military aid to help fight terrorism. I'm sorry, but I need to interrupt the English lesson for just a second. I am offering private tutoring, one-on-one English conversations with me. I will record the lesson. You will be able to watch it many times as you want. And right now, I am offering a discount code. It's Fall 15. Fall is ending soon, so I'm not exactly sure how long this coupon will be good for at least the next couple weeks. Click on the link in the comments or the description for more information. You can see when I'm available. If you sign up, there will be a little form to fill out. You can ask me questions. I can prepare some kind of lesson for you if you would like. I know it's super hard to find a speaking partner, but I can be that guy for you. Look forward to speaking with you. Okay, now back to the English lesson. Meanwhile, this is a great word to know in English, mostly for writing, but they did use it in the newscast. So meanwhile, it means happening at the same time. And I have a picture and I have a sentence that will help you understand meanwhile. The president promised change. Meanwhile, the economy kept getting worse. Worse is a change. It's probably not the change the president wanted. Please do not look at the spelling in the picture. AI did not get that right. But right down there, that's how you spell the president of Nigeria's name. It's Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Right now, he is not that popular. Only 38% of the people in Nigeria think he is doing a good job. But he is the current president of Nigeria. He has been president since 2023. Bola Ahmed Tinubu promised to make Nigeria safer and stronger. I'm not sure he is doing a great job. And here we have another picture of him, or at least that's what AI think he looks like. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He was born in 1952, the president of Nigeria since 2023. He previously served as the governor of Lagos State. Lagos, capital of Nigeria and one of the fastest growing cities in the entire world. And as far as technology goes, Lagos is the fastest growing city in the world as far as technology. And by 2050, Nigeria will be the third most populous nation in the entire world, only behind India and China. Tolerance. Tolerance. That means respecting people who are different from you. A peaceful country needs tolerance among different religions. They also mentioned this term in the newscast, the core tenets of something. That means the most important beliefs or ideas of a group or a religion. Take a look at the picture. We have a couple different faiths here. That's another way to say religion. We'll talk about it more in detail a little later. But honesty and kindness are core tenets of many faiths. So let's talk about faiths right now. Different religions and strong beliefs in God. Nigeria has people of many faiths, including Islam and Christianity. I guess it is almost split 50-50. We'll talk about split in a little bit.
Meantime, Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says religious freedom and tolerance are core tenets of Nigeria's collective identity and will remain so. He also said his administration is committed to working with the U.S. government to protect communities of all faiths. For more on this, I'm joined by Atlantic staff writer Graham Wood, who has reported extensively in Nigeria. Graham, thank you so much for joining me here today. Now, Nigeria is nearly evenly split between Christians and Muslims. Is there any credibility to President Trump's claim that Christianity faces an existential threat there?
No, that would be news to the 100 million plus Christians who are living full and happy lives in Nigeria.
A collective is also mentioned in the newscast that is shared or done by a group, not just one person. Take a look at this. The community made a collective effort to rebuild the town. You can see many people are helping to rebuild the town. I also think in Rwanda, the capital city, Kigali, once a month, everybody comes out and cleans up the city. They do it as a collective. If you live in Kigali, could you please let me know if that is true? Is there a collective effort once a month to clean up the streets of the city? Extensively, that means in a large or detailed way. A lot. I'm sure you have been studying English extensively. We have a woman in the picture. Ooh, I can see the pyramids of Egypt behind her. She has traveled extensively across Africa. In other words, I would think she has visited many different places in Africa. I hope I am doing this as a teacher. The teacher explained the lesson extensively so everyone could understand. We mentioned this before, split. It means to divide or separate into parts. The country is split between the North and the South. Oh man, just looking at this picture makes me hungry. They split the pizza evenly among four friends. So basically, each friend got a fourth of the pizza. Next, we have credibility. I hope I have credibility as an English teacher. Credibility means the quality of being trusted or believed. Now, take a look at this picture. This woman is in court and she is testifying. She is a witness, but she has lost some credibility. The witness's story lacked credibility in court because it kept changing. She kept changing her story. An existential threat. Existential threat. I mean, something that could completely destroy or end a group, country, or way of life. This is some scary stuff. It looks like we have an island here, and maybe the water is rising. Climate change is an existential threat to many island nations. And here is something we all have to worry about. Nuclear weapons are seen as an existential threat to all life on Earth. Recently, I did an English lesson about how President Trump wants to start testing nuclear weapons again. I will leave a link to that English lesson at the end of this one.
But it is true that Boko Haram and other Islamist groups have created a hellish atmosphere for Christians and for Muslims who are under their territory. So the idea that Christians are persecuted, not false, but a lot of other people are too. The Boko Haram's a group that's part of the Islamic State, and if you remember from when the Islamic State was a going concern in Syria a couple of years ago, uh, they were very, very, very harsh against fellow Muslims as well. So this is a very messy situation, and it certainly doesn't rise to the level of possibly extinguishing Christianity in Nigeria.
Now, in terms of that situation, Amnesty International calls the violence in Nigeria a humanitarian crisis. Do we know who's responsible and who the victims typically are?
Yeah, so this group Boko Haram has been around for 25 years or so, and it's gotten more ideological and quite violent over the years. Since 2009, when its leader was killed, they've started to. The group's name means books are forbidden, so like Western education is forbidden, which gives you a sense of the type of Sharia law that they would like to inflict on everybody.
All right, let's talk about some horrible people here. Boko Haram. Boko Haram. Boko means like Western style of teaching and learning, kind of like what we are doing here. Haram means totally forbidden, like the worst thing in the world. Boko Haram is a violent extremist group in Nigeria that opposes Western education. Boko Haram has attacked schools and villages in northern Nigeria. Yeah, they don't believe in the rights of women. They don't believe they should be educated. They believe they should wear a burqa at all times when they leave the house. They believe that everyone should follow Sharia law, and we'll talk about that at the end of this lesson. If somebody is persecuted, they are treated unfairly or cruelly, often because of religion or beliefs. Many people throughout history have been persecuted for wanting freedom. Here is a great adjective to know in English: harsh means very severe or cruel. And in the picture, we have some soldiers, and it looks like they are experiencing some harsh conditions. The soldiers had to survive harsh conditions in the mountains. Uh oh. Have you ever received a harsh punishment from your parents? His parents gave him a harsh punishment for lying. I don't know. What would be a harsh punishment for lying? Taking away your phone for a couple months? That would be pretty harsh. Grounding you for a couple weeks? Do you know what grounding means in English? It means you can't leave your house. Like little kids are sometimes grounded by their parents. Can't be very fun. I think I might have been grounded a couple times when I was younger. Extinguishing. This is a good verb to know. It means putting an end to something like a fire or an idea. In the picture, that middle candle has been extinguished. The soldiers focused on extinguishing the rebel movement. Hopefully, Boko Haram can be extinguished from Nigeria. Amnesty International, at least that's what we call it in English. Do you know this group? It is a global human rights organization that helps people treated unfairly by governments. Amnesty International reported on abuses in Nigerian prisons. Hard word to say, ideological. Ideological. That means based on a set of beliefs or ideas, especially about politics or religion. Since I teach in a public school, I have to be careful about what I share about my own political beliefs or my own religion. Teachers try to stay neutral and not share their ideological beliefs in class. Forbidden. It means not allowed. In some areas, music and dancing are forbidden by local leaders. Yeah, if somebody is very strict in their religion, they could be Christian, they could be Muslim, but a lot of times music and dancing is forbidden. In the sign, you can see it is forbidden to go swimming in that lake after dark. Next, we have Sharia law, Islamic religious law based on the Quran, used in some Muslim majority areas. I have a list of some of the countries that follow Sharia law. Some northern states in Nigeria follow Sharia law for local cases. And it can be different in different places, but if Sharia law is very strict, some of the things they don't allow or some of the things that are forbidden would be women leaving their house without somebody following them, like an escort, we might say, a brother or a father. Women would have to dress in burqas. Music would be forbidden. And you can take a look at some of the countries that follow Sharia law. Congratulations, you made it to the end of a pretty difficult English lesson. Don't forget, if you would like to be my one-on-one speaking partner, check out the description or the comments. Right down there is that English lesson about Donald Trump wanting to start nuclear testing again. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.